So yesterday, some Black Lives Matter demonstrators went to Manhattan to demonstrate outside of Fox. And they carried on, and we have the video, and they did this, and they did that, and they chanted, and they held up pictures, and they did all kinds of terrible things. Now, this happened to me, but it wasn't Black Lives Matter. It was Color of Change. And they called me racist, demanded me fired, all of that. Happened to me when I was working at Fox. So I sent out my investigators. These people were paid. They said they were paid to be there. Now, I can't prove that. It's what they said. But this isn't a spontaneous thing. So the Black Lives Matter demonstrators, they were out there. For what reason? Fox isn't going to change its editorial point of view because these idiots are screaming and yelling. Not going to do it. Well, why are they there? Because they hate their country and they believe that Fox News is more traditional than the others. And so they want to cause trouble. That's what they do. Now, that's part of the hate pipeline. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, on and on and on and on. And I'll put the far-right groups in there, too, because they don't love their country. They tell you they do. But the Proud Boys don't love their country if they are trying to, I don't know, foster violence in some cases, if they're trying to provoke. It's not how you do it. But on the far right, much, this. Most of this hate America is on the left, progressive far left. That's where it is. So you got some organizations, Daily Beast, Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, Vice News. They're the four. They pick up the hate from and Twitter is where the hate lives. Okay? So these people tweet, and these four internet sites pick up that and they spit it out. So a conservative commentator, traditional person, the Twitter people attack personally, all that, and then these four, Daily Beast, Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, Vice News, pick it up and shove it out there. And then it gets picked up sometimes by the so-called legitimate news agencies. Now, as far as the corporate media is concerned, there are haters there. Not so many. Okay, most of these people, they pull back right from the abyss. But there are some people who genuinely despise the United States of America. Take a listen.
The fabric of America is ripping, and the lore of the country is crumbling. But a new generation of thinkers and leaders will piece her together again. And yet, as the rising majority expands, we battle the dinosaur of white supremacy that refuses to become extinct.
When it comes to the racial history of this country, there's a real fight going on. Lots of Americans, particularly on the right, want the bedtime story. They're insisting on it. And so they're in a knockdown, drag-out fight to shut down intellectual pursuits like critical race theory, which simply asks how our racial history intersects with the construction of our laws, or journalistic historical reckonings like the 1619 Project. Too many people want to keep Americans blindly numb to the raw racial violence in our collective past.
And so there is something that is there, and you wonder about these old school attitudes and how they have always, in many ways, disproportionately impacted athletes of color, but in particular, Black people, because that's who we're talking about here.
These insurrectionists to go into the Capitol and endanger the life of people like Dianne Feinstein, who's like 85 years old, had to be hiding. I mean, it's outrageous. And I don't forgive Lindsey Graham. He can go on the floor of the Capitol and cry his eyes out. He is part and parcel of this problem.
So Behar is a hater, but not at the level of the other three. Okay? She just hates anybody who's not a liberal. And she'll just use the platform that Disney, ABC News gives her to spew this hate every single day. The other three are genuine, sincere in their position that America is an evil country. All three of those women are very sincere. They believe it. I can't tell you why. I've always said I can't analyze the African American experience. No white person can. No Asian can. No Hispanic can. African American experience is based on skin color. It is. Everybody knows that. Some African Americans love their country very much, and some hate their country very much. But I can't generalize about why that hatred comes about. But I can tell you a story about perhaps the most famous American dissenter. I don't believe she hates her country. But Michelle Obama is on record saying, for the first time, I'm proud of my country. Remember that soundbite? When something went right in the Obama administration. Now, Michelle Obama was raised in a lower working class home as far as economics are concerned. I've studied her because I'm fascinated by her. And she was very nice to my young daughter. Went out of her way to be nice. The First Lady did. And after that, I said, I'm going to look into this. All right, because, you know, she's a little strident sometimes. So Michelle Obama was raised in Chicago, and her father was a janitor, a school janitor, I believe. And her mother worked, but was primarily a homemaker. And they didn't have much. And when you're a janitor in a school and you're black, that's not an easy road. I think we'll all agree, no matter what color you are, but particularly for an African American. So the family stayed together, and Michelle Obama prospered because she's very smart. And she got her entire education paid for, including law school, right? By the system, the evil system, according to the American haters. And along the way, she met Barack Obama, who was in not quite the same circumstance, but similar in the sense that Barack Obama was raised by his grandparents in Honolulu. His mother was a loon. His father deserted the family, okay? And he had more than Michelle Obama did, but not a lot more. Public high school kid, and then rose up, and his whole education was paid for by the evil American taxpayer. And now he's a former president of the United States. Now, Michelle Obama carries with her experiences as a child. And so does everybody. Everyone in the world does. And she saw a lot of bad stuff that her mother and father were subjected to, and perhaps she herself. So I'm not quick to condemn any of that. Overall, in my opinion, and I'm probably out of line for giving it, I think America has been very, very excellent for Barack and Michelle Obama. If I were them and I had achieved what they have achieved, and now they're approaching $100 million in assets, I think I'd be pretty grateful. But you don't hear a lot of that out of the Obamas because their constituency is a grievance constituency, like the three women we put up. See, Behar's a different animal, but I wanted you to hear, because she is a genuine hater. She hates people who aren't progressive. But the other three, they hate the country. Now they'll say, oh no, I just want to make it better. No, you don't. Okay? No, you don't. You demonize white people. You do whatever you can to besmirch people who think that America is a noble nation. Even people like me who back it up with an incredible amount of facts. Just read my books. Just read my books. All right? So this hate machine has become so dominant in America. And if you fight it, if you go up against the hate machine, you get just torn apart in social media and banished in some cases by the big media companies. So that's what's driving a lot of this kind of drastic change for the worse that we are seeing, the hate America industry. Hey, I'm sure you've noticed that everything is getting more expensive, and with all this printing money and spending by the progressives, I'm concerned the dollar's end could be near. If the government continues this way, the dollar could freefall and lose its coveted role as the world's reserve currency. That's why there's never been a more important time to consider gold and silver to protect you and your family. And American Hartford Gold is the only company I'm happy to put my name behind. I have done business with them myself. It just takes a quick phone call and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.